All right, we're keeping it pushing here, talking Jared Goff. Brad Holmes went on local radio here in town, said he has earned an extension, that they are in the process of getting that done. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, intern Justin, of course, Spencer Racksta here as well, and all of you. Going back to this, so let's get into it then, shall we? Let's just cut the shit, KG. Hey. Corey Berry says, technically a long-term deal doesn't have to be done. Brad can franchise tag him in 2025. All right, guys, so that will never happen. Now, I use that, was it before the season, Spenny? Remember when I was trying to creatively craft a deal that you would agree to, Spenny?
Yes.
Yeah. Spenny, you've relented a bit. If the contract starts with a 4 on the AAV, you're down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's under market value. Why wouldn't you?
Spenny didn't give me what I wanted there. Why didn't you come back? No, you give him $35 a year.
Yeah, because that's just unreasonable.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Come on, he's not easy. Come on.
Shout out heavyweights, 5 to 7.
Shout out.
All right. But yeah, so here we are. The franchise tag will never happen with Jared Goff. And there's a couple of reasons. Number one, D-Mac, I always go to your example on this, the room. The room, the guys, the Penei Sewells that just put their career on this, the Amon-Ra St. Brown that just put his career on this. Like, this is it. So that's the number one. That's easy. Number two, the franchise tag, you guys have to remember, when you tag a player, immediately that number gets taken off your books. So if it's, say it's 45 million, 30, 40 million, whatever it is, say it's 40 million. As soon as you extend that franchise tag, Goff has the ability to, accept it. As soon as you offer it, that's 40 million on your cap that's cut out that you can't work with.
Yep.
If he then signs it and takes it, that money is all due that year.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're going to franchise tag him and pay him that, then why don't you tack a couple years on it and an extension and massage the cap number? You see what I'm saying here? Like, a franchise tag does not make sense. When you have Sewell locked up, when you have St. Brown locked up, these high dollar figures, it just doesn't make sense, D-Mac, to take that lump sum when you can delay it. You can add the void years like St. Brown's contract. Guys, remember, we're in a new era. We're in new waters now as Lions fans. The financial game is just as important as the players on the field, D-Mac.
No, absolutely true. Not only does he have, everybody in that building is behind Jared Goff, but you listen, watch the videos after the game. Watch how guys talk to him. It's the genuine article. He is the leader of this team. And also being the leader of this team, financially, you want to be able to show flexibility, right, to help your team. Like you said, why does the franchise tag not make sense? It made sense. You could argue it a year ago, probably made more sense 2 years ago, but now, Spenny even said, as far as don't disrespect the man at $35 million.
Yeah.
What you can hope for is that his AAV it has a 4 in it, to even if it's 49 or whatever like this, but you need the flexibility like other teams do. Don't we sit here all the time and go, how did they just add another guy? How'd they trade for that guy? How'd they sign that guy? Oh, they restructured a deal. They restructured. Well, you have to play in order to be, like you said, we're in new waters. Well, you got to operate in new waters, and this is exactly what Brad Holmes is doing. Don't jump to conclusions. The number one thing, and if you listen to Jared Goff say, take care of Brown, take care of Sewell. I'll get taken care of. I know that. I'm not worried about it. Yeah. I mean, it's sort of a moot point. The point is, what is that first number? I think that was the question. Now, I asked you something during break, Neil, right? When do good teams, right, that are in this situation that we're in, usually sign this player, being their quarterback or whatever, to this long-term deal? Is there a track record in the NFL of when in the calendar it happens? And what did you tell me?
Preseason, usually July.
So usually July.
And why do you think that is? Why do you think it is, everybody? When July 1 happens when June 1st happens and guys begin to get cut, you want to stay as nimble as possible. You want to get involved. Because every year there's somebody that you go, holy shit, I can't believe they got cut.
Yeah.
So can I ask you this question, right? Would part of being smart management and whatever is not putting your eggs in a basket when you don't have to sign to leave that money? Why? So tell me why you would sign Goff. When you just told me that when it leaves you flexibility to your salary cap and whatever to make moves when guys are getting cut June 1st, right? Why would you, when you, don't you look at it like I look at it and go, if he did sign right now, that'd be the stupidest move that Detroit did because you're hamstringing yourself. Am I reading this right or wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it was like they would do it for if they did it, they did it for a reason.
If they did it, they had a purpose because this is their game plan. This was all part of it. That maneuverability is probably already implied in there, but again, they don't need to do anything. So I would just sit back until probably the middle of July, or when you, Neil, say they probably should be thinking we should probably hear something this week or something like that. Other than that, aren't they on point to what great team? Business as usual. So that's why I don't understand. Like, it's gonna get done to whatever it is. It's just your guess is as good as mine to what that first number is. I think it's 50.
Dante 151. Goff is expected to command somewhere around $50 million in his next contract, which would make him the highest paid quarterback in the game. That is what the Free Press posted about an hour ago.
Stop looking at it like that. You got to look at what the other quarterbacks are making. Yes, $50 million is a lot of money, but what are quarterbacks making now? Between $55 to $57 million.
Which makes Jared Goff at $50 million a deal.
Yes, under market value. Like, I don't get it.
Which is where he is now.
Yeah.
Which is where he has been.
Yeah.
And like we're seeing it here in the chat where, and I had it here and I lost it, which is unfortunate because it was very, very good. Lems 31M, 1995, Scott Mitchell was second in yards and third in TDs. Clearly, he was elite. Hey, Lems, did he have another team that he took to the Super Bowl before he rolled into town and did that? No. Did he do it for 2 years in a row like Jared Goff has here? Did he win you more playoff games in a week than you won in 4 decades here? Did he do that? Yes, he did that. And Lems, that stuff comes at a cost. Like, what does this guy have to do? For real, what does he got to do for the people in this town? Remember when you were cheering and jumping around and everything like that? Yeah. Remember when you were chanting Jared Goff at a Red Wings game? Why were you doing that? Because you've been places you never been before. What more's a guy got to do? You know what, guys? If you're anti it and everything like that, you think he's no good, you think he's not any good, then sit it out. But here you are. I remember you guys every week after the playoff wins in the chat. You're like, go Lions and stuff like that. I mean, how can you be like that? If you think he sucks, how can you be like that? I don't get that. I'll never understand it. What does he got to do? Give me the number. Give me the line. Give me the stat. What do you need to believe in Jared Goff? Please, someone tell me in the chat now. Please tell me.
A Super Bowl.
Well, yeah. So then basically
you only believe in 5 quarterbacks.
Right. That's my point. You see what I'm talking about here?
You're not. So that's a flannel argument.
Yeah.
You're only good.
So then you think he's Joe Burrow? You think he's Lamar Jackson? You know what I'm talking about? Like all those layers of dudes that are next. Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying he is. Guess what those guys are making? Am I oversimplifying? Somebody help me for real.
No.
Am I oversimplifying this?
But there's common sense in this room, Neil. You're trying to argue to somebody that's not on the level or think that way.
I think everyone in this room agrees with you.
Spenny?
Chill on Spenny, man.
Yeah, I mean, I said they were
anyways, 5-7, shout out.
I said they were going to re-sign him, and I've accepted that fact.
That is all.
But even Spenny, though, who was a non-believer, there was a line that he eventually crossed.
Yeah.
When you win back-to-back playoff games here.
Yeah. And a division.
And a division title.
That you ain't seen in 30 years.
Spenny, revisit that. Where are you at with the people on Jared Goff? Can you kind of reset your stance?
No, he's our quarterback. My quarterback. They're going to re-sign him. I believe they're going to win a Super Bowl with him this year. And we move forward.
So, and that is my point, the overriding point. We'll get to that. I know we're coming up on the break. There's kind of a third angle to this with the contract and why I think the way I do about the contract and why the franchise tag is not the play.
Yeah.
Just in and above, just strictly math.
And even if you franchise tag him, what you going to do after that?
So you tag him again.
And more money in 1 year?
Right, which hinders your ability to do business severely.
It makes no sense. You're either going to sign the guy or you're not. And they're going to. So,
right. So we'll get into that as well. I want to know, Adiz 411, heavyweights was tough on Goff in the past. Detroit supremacy. Spencer's reasonable and able to see beyond hate, unlike his co-host. Now, hey, that's egregious. Heavyweights 5-7.
Easy said that he believes they're going to win a Super Bowl with Goff this year too. He's just not going to say Goff's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and I wouldn't say that either.
And well, he'll be paid. Where do you think he rates?
Yeah, I think he'll be paid around there, and then that's what happens. And then when Dak gets paid, and when Trevor Lawrence gets paid, and when Tua gets paid, it's all going to bump.
He'll slot back to where he is.
Yep.
And that good. See, like again, you know the circle of life, everybody. Elgato, I want a mobile QB.
Don't we all?
Well, Baltimore's got one. How's it working out?
Yeah.
And I'm a Lamar guy. I like Lamar.
Yeah.
But him and Goff are in the same boat, according to you guys.
They don't always equate, man.
That's your guys' take on it.
It's more than one way to win.
Sean Miller, Neil, you're talking about the bandwagon Lions fans. The real fans have been very satisfied with the Lions move. So, yeah,